Hey guys, welcome back to Endeavor. We're going to take a look at footwork today, right? So footwork is super important, foundation of everything you're going to do. And if I have a good foundation, I have good solid footwork, then I optimize my ability to do all of the other things I want to do, whether it's basic, simple things like just punching, good footwork for grappling, and then all the way up to fancy shit like, you know, spin kicks and all the other kind of fun stuff. So when we start with footwork, right out of the gate, it's going to be a little different for everybody, right? We've got to understand that self-defense in general is built for all different body types and everything going into it. What we want is we want good, equal balance side to side, and we want good, even balance front to back, right? So I'm going to find different positions. There's no specificity to it. I like to think, for the most part, my rear foot is going to be in line or slightly behind my heel if I were to trace a line in that direction. What I really want to make sure that I'm doing is that I stay sunk down into my stance, both from a stress response standpoint and then also from the ability to get a little more athletic about my position, right? Now, we're going to focus mainly on down here. That said, for the most part, keep your hands up. That's pretty good primary things. Now, generally, when we're starting people off in footwork, we tell them to stay in their fighting stance or wider, which means if I want to open up, if I want to move to my left, I'm going to open up with my left foot and I'm going to close with my right foot. If I want to move forward, I open with my front, close with my rear, and then the same thing goes. Backwards, moving to the right, same idea. And the idea is to keep people in a place they're familiar with, right? We understand in real life, feet are going to move, we get shuffled, they may get crisscrossed. However, as much as I can get somebody comfortable in a basic realm where, hey, this is where I can punch from, this is where I can move from to start, the better success they're going to be set up for down the road. So we want to look at a couple of really basic footwork drills that we would initiate somebody with, and it's simply forward, left, back, right. That's it. So boom, step forward, step to my left, step back, step right. And I can literally just trace a box, getting comfortable with weight shifts and feeling this good solid position, right? Once we get comfortable there, then we want to start opening up. We want to start getting three-dimensional. So I want to start allowing my body to turn a little bit and basically following that mechanism that my knees stay bent, I stay lowered into my center of gravity, and I'm having this idea of my stance stays in my basic fighting stance or wider, right? So I'm teaching you to avoid crisscrossing your feet voluntarily right out of the gate. Right? And then as we get a lot more comfortable, we want you really to start bouncing around and moving three-dimensionally, making good solid pivots and everything that go with it, right? So when you're looking at basic footwork, this is a great place to start, right? It's like a basic 1-2, get used to this opening. Realistically, I want to start getting to a point where when I'm staying squared up with somebody and moving or having a conversation or ducking and hitting punches, this foot becomes natural to me. So the boring, monotonous drills of like box out a square and doing thousands of reps of just opening stance, closing in different positions, and then once I've done a couple thousand reps of that, getting into allowing myself to turn and pivot my hips a little bit more, and then spending minutes and minutes and hours and rounds, allowing myself to bounce around a little bit more, and then getting into, okay, well, what if I switch my stance around and go from a left-footed stance? How do I make these transfers back and forth, right? So footwork foundations, what people would generally consider the monotonous step, 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 is so important for building everything you're going to do for the high-end complex stuff, because your body gets so used to this is the way that I move, and now when I stack other things on top of it, that foundation's already there, it's intuitive, your body can move with it. So footwork, uber important. For those of you that are brand new, I want you to spend time with this basic idea of open, close, stay low in my knees. Those of you that have been around for a little while, I highly encourage you to get back to fundamentals and spend, 3 or 5 rounds a week just getting back to good solid positions based around with your footwork, right? So check it out, up your footwork, and we'll see you guys next time.